Hello, friends. Today I have a very special guest with me. The lady is a finance professional and she's one of the best. She's been an Amazon best selling teen author as well. So, the lady is Sonali Sharma, and let me just check if she's online and we'll have a very interesting conversation. A finance professional into writing for teens and for kids. So let's hear what the lady has to tell us about her writing skills and what we need to learn from her. Just welcome, Sonali. So I was telling the audiences it's a pretty unique combination. Somebody who just completed her education in finance and
Yeah,
being a best-selling author in terms of teens, so writing a couple of books. So a very unique combination. So Sonali, let's start off with that very background. So coming from finance
okay.
background, just completed your
Yeah.
graduation and then you were already pursuing your ICMI, right,
Yes,
from Institute
yes,
of
yes,
Constant Management Accountants, so pursuing
yes.
another qualification. So,
Yeah,
and then to being a content writer and then to being an author. So, how do
yeah.
you manage to wear all these different hats at the same time?
I guess it's all about, dividing the bigger task into smaller list, and I always have this kind of small diaries in my hand. So, I can divide the entire day list with whatever I have to do, proper timeline with which subject I want to study. If currently I'm handling multiple clients, particular time slot for that particular client, and this time is scheduled for the lectures, this is for self-study and these things. So I think time management, and every person has different styles and different kind the way they manage their time. And I feel very happy being occupied with multiple things, because I have observed that agar ek hi cheez karte jao, that makes me feel lethargic. So I feel happy trying out multiple things and managing different things together, so that keeps me very productive. Maybe I think that as a plus point, obviously.
Perfect. So Sonali just showed us her blue diary. So we have a concept of a lal kitab for some of the entrepreneurs who just might be listening to this session. Yeah, we've always had a lal kitab. Lal kitab is to keep. Sonali, you come from a finance background. You should be knowing about the lal kitab.
इतना तो नहीं, but yeah, like I have heard maybe like in so one two examples that our professors have given. इतना डिटेल में नहीं पता.
Okay, so Lal Kitab, traditionally the business community. So, I mean, this is traditionally, so I come from business community. So, traditionally the business communities have all maintained something called as a Lal Kitab. Lal Kitab का मतलब होता था आप अपने सारे जो भी accounts बही खाता जिसको हम बोलते थे
अच्छा,
वो
बही
आपको
खाता, हाँ, that
हाँ
I know
हाँ
very well. हाँ हाँ, वो
राइट
पता
तो
है.
बही
Okay.
खाते जिसमें रखते थे उसको लाल किताब बोलते थे तो लाल
Okay.
किताब थोड़ा फाइनेंस प्रोफेशन है लाल किताब के साथ साथ आप ब्लू किताब भी अपने साथ रखते हैं और अपना टाइम मैनेजमेंट
Yeah.
सो perfect. So, Sonali, even I do a lot of work for the corporates in terms of
Yeah.
productivity. And yes,
Hmm.
being able to manage one's time, I believe in
Hmm.
today's world, this is the greatest asset and the greatest challenge as well.
Yeah.
If
Yeah. True.
so, we're talking right now on, let's say, Insta Live. I'm sure this
Hmm.
is one way of reaching out to more people, but if you really keep spending hours and hours together every day on Insta, one may not be going too far. So one really needs to be mindful of how much time you need to spend on which particular activity each day, and that's very important. I'm glad at this young age, at this young tender age, you're really keeping up with some of these principles. That's phenomenal. So tell us something about your
Yeah.
book, the last book that you wrote. How come something for the
Well,
teens?
okay, so basically, the idea behind Small is the New Big, which was my recent book. So basically, like, see, even when we grow up, जब हम छोटे होते हैं, जैसे जैसे we keep growing, we come to the teenage. So you know what naturally happens in teenage? We come across different problems in life. We come across different critical situations. Yet again, we go to our parents and they tend to guide us. But होता क्या है, कभी कभी हम बोल देते हैं कि नहीं, आपको नहीं ये चीज समझ में आएगी, आप ऐसे कैसे बोल सकते हो. But then when we come like when we cross 18, तो वो 18 19 20s we realize कि those are the core values and morals that our parents teach us, and वही चीजें लाइफ में काम आती है. So the main motive behind coming up with Small is the New Big ये था कि it comprises of small 20 acts, small 20 lessons which are basically revolving around core human values, जो हमें पेरेंट्स सिखाते हैं, जो हमें एल्डर्स सिखाते हैं. बट कहीं ना कहीं नाउ वी एज टीनेजर्स वी आर हैबिचुअल टू टेक्नोलॉजी एंड टेक सेवी एरा, बहुत ज्यादा एडवांसनेस एंड मॉडर्निटी. वी टेंड टू फॉरगेट दोस core basic ethics and values.
Okay.
So basically, targeting the beginner teenagers, targeting the beginner youths who are entering their college life, whatever I experienced, and then I came up with small is the new big. And fun fact bolu ya kya, that book is very small and precise, just 56 pages, but it took me 2 years to come up with that book because it has all kind of practical experiences and observations. Say for example, small act of showing gratitude. तो नाउ अब ग्रेटिट्यूड का मीनिंग हर इंसान के लिए अलग होता है. People like me, like those who are into writing, we can write diaries, we can do journaling and express our gratitude. कई लोग होते हैं जिनको they converse with each other, they showcase thankfulness. Someone have that magic stone and they keep it in their hands and they meditate. So there are different kind of elements revolving around one single particular concept. So now to come up on that one conclusion ki gratitude is equals to what? किसी के लिए मन से thankfulness feel करना. So
Right.
talking with people, and especially like my college was out of town, so I think that daily train travel, that up down journey, you meet many different people, new faces, new conversations every day, new minute observations. So I think all that process has helped me out a lot. So like 2 years, and then obviously even you are an author. I saw the post on LinkedIn. Then to write a book, to edit the manuscript, to go to the publisher, usko final proofread, all that formatting and everything takes time. So I think the entire process took 2 years, but I feel though it took time, it was worth the time. And I feel happy like people came up with positive responses, and more than happier, people like who are aged, adult people, even they loved reading the book. So I think I feel happy, like yes, I wrote it for beginner teenagers, but even they are getting value. So I think what's
Okay.
more happier than that?
Perfect. And you very rightly touched upon this aspect of gratitude. So very recently, Sonali, so that now you spoke about gratitude, I read in one of the books. So I also keep reading a lot of books. So in one of these books, I read that many a times it's not just the teenagers or the young adults, even people of my age, we many a times stop saying thanks or stop saying thanks in the quantities
Yeah.
that it should be, right? In terms of gratitude. So
Yeah.
one fine day, and this is only what happened about 10 days back. So that
Hmm.
fine day, I decided that I will thank the top 25 people who actually made a contribution to my entrepreneurial journey. So I started off
Wow.
with a training organization now and started off about 3.5 years back. So that very evening, I actually sat down and made a list, actually a list of 25 people who really helped me in my entrepreneurial journey in the last 3.5 years. And Sonali, the next day, the very next day, I actually wrote a personalized mail to all of them. And I
Wow.
really felt so happy. So it's not just many times, we read so many good things in books, but what it comes down to is execution. Are we really only
Yeah.
reading some of those things? Let's say you've
Yeah.
really told about so many different aspects. So when you were talking about
Hmm.
explaining about your book, I could actually see you as the badi didi talking to teenagers. Yeah, कि ऐसे करना है, ऐसे करना है. We really read across, we come across so many beautiful things in our lives, but are we really implementing some of those things? So, why I felt happy because I decided on something that had to be done in terms of me offering a gratitude to people who had made a difference to my life. But the thought just didn't stop there. I made a list.
Hmm.
And the next
Hmm.
day, because it took some time, if you're writing a
Yeah.
personalized mail to 25 people, it is
Definitely,
really
it
going to
takes
take a
time. Yeah.
considerable amount of time. But I was
Hmm.
able to accomplish that act, and that's what gave me immense happiness. So
Yeah.
gratitude,
True.
yes, we ought to be doing in whichever way we can. So
Yeah.
if I were to ask you, Sonali, so now fresh out of college, do you really want to be continuing as a freelancer, start your own organization, or looking for a job as you move along now? What are your plans?
No, I won't say like I'm looking for a job because I'm doing pretty well freelancing at home remotely, being with my parents. That makes me more happier rather than,
Perfect.
going to office and up down journey, making yourself very tired. But definitely, every experience is a new experience, and I feel we should take experiences because जब तक हम उस चीज को करेंगे नहीं पता नहीं चलेगा. So maybe in future, but obviously not a job because I've realized I'm not a job kind of person. So far
Perfect.
freelancing 1.5 years. Because what freelancing has taught me, definitely patience, definitely different aspects of handling the business. Now maybe I might be wrong, but what happens in job, you are into that particular zone, only focusing upon the core element or the core task that you have been given. But when it comes to freelancing or managing your own business, you are an entrepreneur yourself. I
Yes.
think you can relate to it. Communicating with clients, attending events, interacting with new people, onboarding new clients, handling all that communication से लेके invoicing. You have your own remote team working, the team works under you, तो वो time management, team management, allocating the task, self discipline, punctuality, and many more aspects. I think that a person can learn through handling their own business.
We've actually spoken out from A to Z, everything modern entrepreneur should be doing. But brilliant. मैं आप लोगों को देखता हूँ ना सोनाली, तो मुझे बड़ा अच्छा लगता है कि जब हम लोगों ने ग्रेजुएशन की थी, मैं आज थोड़ा बड़ा हूँ तो मेरी ग्रेजुएशन को 2 दशक से ज्यादा हो चुके
हाँ
हैं।
जी।
जब मैंने ग्रेजुएशन की
अच्छा।
थी हमारे तो एक ही फोकस होता था, बस आप अच्छी नौकरी मिल जाए और जिंदगी सेट हो जाएगी। पर आप लोगों को आजकल
but
देख के मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगता है कि आप लोग नौकरी के अलावा कुछ सोच रहे हैं और दुनिया में कुछ क्रिएटिविटी इसके कारण ज्यादा आप ला पा रहे हैं।
बिकॉज व्हाट हैपेंस इन जॉब, वो एक फिक्स्ड माइंडसेट होता है कि ग्रेजुएशन कंप्लीट की, कैंपस इंटरव्यू क्रैक किया और आपको प्लेसमेंट मिल गई, बट यू डोंट नो द वर्क एनवायरनमेंट ओवर देयर, अगर आपको वो जॉब सूट होगी नहीं होगी। डेफिनेटली फ्रीलांसिंग में, बिजनेस में, एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप जर्नी में रिस्क है, बट आई थिंक दैट इनिशियल 2 3, मैक्सिमम 5 6 years का रिस्क विल बी वर्थ इट टू योर अपकमिंग, नेक्स्ट कमिंग years ऑफ योर लाइफ। सो आई
Perfect.
थिंक पेशेंस होना बहुत ज्यादा इम्पोर्टेंट है।
Perfect.
हम्म।
So one last question to you, Sonali. So one last message from you to, though you've written that beautiful book and you have all kinds of advices to be shared with those teenager friends, but one last piece of message from your side. So if for people who are just graduating from college, what do you feel is the one single biggest attribute for you to be really successful? I know it's slightly early for you in life to be answering this
It
question.
will go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
true.
as per you, what is the one most important attribute for a person who's just entering the workforce, be that as an entrepreneur or as an employee in the corporate world? What is the single biggest attribute that you think should one be possessing? Is it you
I
spoke about
think
punctuality, trustworthiness, communication, whatever comes to your
no,
mind?
nothing from that. Only one single thing, that is, believing in yourself. Because see, self-confidence time के साथ साथ आ जाएगा. You can keep upskilling yourself. You can learn different skills. You can get expertise in particular domain. But until and unless you don't have a faith on yourself, you don't believe in yourself, I don't think a single skill of yours will be worth it. और आप मतलब रिस्क लेना चाहते हो, आप कुछ नया बिजनेस शुरू करना चाहते हो, you are entering the workforce, you are entering into corporates for the first time. Now as beginners and graduates, freshly graduates, एक डर होता है माइंड में, because corporates is equals to strictly high environment, strictly sophisticated culture, corporate politics, another scenario that goes around. तो these 3 4 kind of major elements now, especially हुआ graduates, एक ये fear सा मन में बैठ जाता है. Like definitely internal part होगा, चलता होगा, but at least you have to make yourself strong and self faith रखो कि no, you will be ethical to yourself. आप अपने काम, अपने projects अच्छे से करोगे, and you will collaborate with the team, the work culture, and work together. Similarly, if after graduation you are planning to go for your own business or freelancing, डोंट थिंक अबाउट चार लोग क्या कहेंगे, बिकॉज दोस्त चार लोगों के पास भी इतना वेला टाइम नहीं है दैट दे विल सिट एंड सी कि ये पर्टिकुलर इंसान क्या कर रहा है।
Perfect, perfect.
या सो
So,
लाइक
so
कीप
friends,
द बिलीव इन योरसेल्फ।
So, friends, the final message from our young author is believe in yourself. You really have a very bright future ahead of you. Sonali, it was really awesome, awesome, wonderful talking to you. And I wish you the very
Likewise.
best in your future endeavors. Lovely having you on this session.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. It was a
Thank
pleasure
you.
talking to you.
See you. Bye.
Yeah. Bye bye.